At 25, Rachel had mastered the art of appearing effortlessly composed, even when her heart looked like a group chat full of mixed signals. She lived in a fifth-floor walk-up in Manhattan, worked in PR, and still believed that love might just be an email away. Her therapist said she was romantically optimistic. Her best friend said she was chronically delusional. And Rachel? She said she was just a woman with internet and hope. She'd tried love the old-fashioned way, meeting men in bookstores, brunches, and once, tragically, at Duane Reade. None of it stuck, so she turned to the new-fashioned way: online dating. The apps promised connection, chemistry, and convenience, the romantic trifecta, but what she got was confusion, commitment issues, and, hey beautiful at 2 a.m. Still, she logged on, because wasn't hope the original addiction? She treated profiles like resumes: concise, intriguing, slightly exaggerated. Her own bio read, PR girl, coffee enthusiast, fluent in sarcasm, somewhere between poetic and practical, much like her heart. Her first match, Elliot, seemed perfect: educated, funny, and allergic to sincerity. He texted like he was closing a business deal. Quick, transactional, vaguely performative. After 2 dates, Rachel realized she was pitching herself to a man who couldn't even sell vulnerability to himself. Then came Marco, a yoga instructor who said he believed in energy, balance, and open relationships. Emphasis on open. After him, there was Nate, who quoted Rumi by day and ghosted by night. I couldn't help but wonder, are we really looking for love? Or just the validation that we could be loved? And since when did intimacy start needing a password? Is there a hack to it, or are we simply doomed? By March, Rachel had developed what she called romantic fatigue, the emotional equivalent of a bad hangover, only caused by hope. She promised herself she'd take a break, and then, of course, she didn't. Because the moment she decided to stop looking, that's when Theo appeared. His profile was disarmingly simple: graphic designer, jazz listener, believer in eye contact. No gym selfies, no group photos where you had to play guess which one. Just a face that looked like it had stories behind it and wanted to tell them. And for once, Rachel didn't feel like she was auditioning. Theo messaged first, he asked. If New York were a person, what would you say to her? She replied. Stop making rent so expensive, and love so complicated. He sent back a laughing emoji, the rare kind that felt like a real laugh. Their first date was at a cafe in SoHo. It wasn't cinematic. No spilled coffee, no meet-cute chaos, just 2 people with caffeine and curiosity. Theo was easy to talk to, the kind of man who made silence feel like an extension of the conversation. He listened, really listened. Like her words were a podcast he'd been meaning to catch up on. He didn't perform interest, he participated in it. Soon there were second dates, third dates, and weekends that blurred into each other. They weren't fireworks, they were a steady glow. And after years of chaos, Rachel thought, maybe that's better, until the quiet turned into questions. He never posted her. He said he wasn't ready for labels, which, in modern Manhattan, translated roughly to, I'm emotionally buffering. Rachel wanted to be understanding, but understanding is exhausting when it's one-sided. One night, she asked herself, or maybe the universe, do we fall in love, or with the fantasy of being in love? She confronted Theo after dinner one night, standing beneath the kind of flickering streetlight that turns heartbreak into cinema. He hesitated, then said the words she'd always feared. I love what we have. I'm just not ready for what it could be. And just like that, Rachel, believer in love, curator of patience, became single again. She walked home through the city, heels clicking like punctuation marks on the pavement. The air smelled like rain and reruns of bad decisions. Back in her small Manhattan apartment, she deleted the app, not out of anger, but liberation. She didn't want to be found by an algorithm anymore. She wanted to find herself. without needing to swipe for directions. She spent the next months rediscovering things that didn't need approval. Mornings without pings, books without bookmarks, wine nights with friends who didn't need explanations. By summer, Rachel wasn't healed exactly, but she was whole. She smiled more, worried less. She even found herself talking to strangers again, the offline kind. At a friend's art show in the Lower East Side, she saw Theo. He looked the same, only slightly more self-aware. They talked, not like ex-somethings, but like two people who had both stopped buffering. He told her he was happy. She told him she was too, and for once, it was true. As she left, she passed a couple taking a selfie, faces lit by the same blue glow that once lit her loneliness. She smiled, because in that moment, she realized, maybe love isn't something you download. Maybe it's something you develop in dark rooms of patience and self-respect. And somewhere between Houston Street and home, the city breathing around her, a thought crossed her mind. Sharp, reflective. In a world that's always refreshing, could the bravest thing be to simply stay still and love yourself, offline?